we're back with another episode of Mike Chuck for this season. Season 3, episode 7 is where we're at, I believe.
I thought 7 was last week.
Is it 8? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
Doing
even know where
one-
I'm at most of the time.
One a week. That's what we're doing. So we're doing a good little run on that. So we got a loaded show for you tonight. It's we're going to move fast here. We have Mason Petersen from Columbus, 150-pounder, who's had a pretty nice
Career.
Yeah, I was gonna say season, but then I was like, it's a little more than that.
Yeah, that dude's just wrestling out of his mind.
Yes, so we'll talk to him, and then after that, we'll talk to Jordan Campbell, the girl wrestler from UTAN, and get some insight from her, and then we will finish the show like we always do. Someone from NEwrestle, and that will be Cody Manquist this week. So yeah,
Old Gretna Cody.
Gretna Cody, big time Gretna, Nebraska Cody. That's what he is. That's what
He likes North Platte too, apparently.
No, Ogallala and North Platte.
Oh yeah, that's right.
A little bit about he likes both those things.
Brian.
Yeah, I like Omaha Brian.
Yeah, I mean your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler wrestles for them.
My favorite wrestler is that's not true. He's up there though. He's one of my favorites. Abdi is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's hard not to like.
Yeah. All right, let's get Mason in here and get moving on with the show. So, Mason, what's up, man?
Not much.
You got that Team Nebraska shirt on from Fargo, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
I hate you both right now just because you ganged up on me. You both ganged up on me, and it wasn't fair.
It was great seeing you in Fargo in the 2024 summer and 2023 summer, Mason. I don't know about Chuck because
you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Anyway, Mason, let's just get started. I mean, you've had a heck of a year. I believe it's something like 41-1 or something like that is the record. If I can do math correctly, I had to go count the math earlier today. Is that right? Am I right?
I have no clue what my record is. I don't got a clue.
That's impressive, actually.
And especially since it's a good record. Like me in high school, I didn't tell anyone my record because it was not the greatest. But when you got a great record and you don't know it.
Yeah, I knew my record going up until state. I think I was like 21 and 10 or something. So. And then I won. And I won one, and then I lost 2. So, yeah, still pretty good. I'll take it. Yeah, not quite as good as Mason anyway. So, Mason, let's talk about the just wins you've had. You've had some pretty big wins this year. I guess most recently, a couple weeks ago, won the Manquist invite. You were also named the outstanding wrestler, I believe, of that tournament, if I'm correct, this year. Walk us through maybe that tournament because it's kind of like a nice state tournament-ish feel, I guess.
It was just I wrestled it the year prior. It's a hard tournament. There's a bunch of teams there from every class, and there's just a bunch of hammers. I know I was gonna see Scotty Meyer somewhere in the tournament.
Right.
Seen him in finals. Just wrestled the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So you've wrestled all these big matches throughout your career from when you're little all the way up until now. What's kind of driven you to be like, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to go full-fledged on wrestling.
It's just something I enjoy doing. I've been wrestling ever since I can remember. I just stick with it. I love going out there. I love wrestling. It's just something I've always been good at, and it's always something I want to keep getting better at.
I want to go back to there's Scotty Meyer's good. He's a really good wrestler. And you wrestled 2 or 3 times this year? 2?
3 times.
3 times. how do you just keep like a guy like that? How do you just keep sharp? Like, he's really good, and he kind of just the way the schedule worked out, you ended up wrestling 3 times and you've done pretty well against him 3 times, and he's good. He's really good. How do you stay sharp, kind of knowing, hey, all right, man, this guy's good. Like, he knows me, I know him, but you know, it is what it is. How does that work mentally for you?
I just go at it like I go after every match. The hard matches are the ones I enjoy wrestling the most, and I enjoy wrestling Scotty because he's a good wrestler. He's a good challenge for me. Uh, I just go at it like I go after every match. I want to stay in good position. I want to wrestle how I want to wrestle. I want to control the match. I want to control the pace, and just I know if I wrestle the way I wrestle, I could win every match. I can win every match.
Yeah. Then you might see him again in districts too. I mean, that's like, geez, 4 times, five, could be five.
Well, I was gonna say then they'll be opposite sides of the bracket at state.
Right. Man, that's really hard. Go ahead, Chuck.
uh, how how crazy has Coach Brownlow been on you about weights and really pushing yourself to get you ready for these tough matches?
Uh, Coach Brownlow knows that I'm always going to be ready to wrestle. He doesn't have to get on me too much because he knows he knows who I am. He knows that I'm going to go out there and put my best effort forward and just wrestle how I've always been wrestling. I don't really have to be reminded.
Okay, let's stay with the coaching part. So tell us, Coach Key Sweater like story, like give us some, like
Your favorite Coach Key sweater
yeah,
story?
yeah, your favorite one. Maybe, funny, could be embarrassing. Any of that would be great.
Preferably embarrassing.
Uh, I've been around Coach Kiesler a lot. He's given me a lot of advice over the years. He's helped me with a bunch of technique, a bunch of just smart wrestling and knowing where I am. This year at Fargo, a few days before Fargo, I broke my headgear and I didn't know when I could get one.
Mhm.
So I know Kiesler was going, so I asked him if he could get a Columbus headgear out of the bin that we have at Columbus
Mhm.
and bring it up to me because mine was broken.
What the Columbus robe thing? Like, how important is that? Like, walk us through like that. When I am much older than you, and that is something that they've done at Columbus since I was in high school. We're talking 20 plus years ago. Um, how important is that tradition kind of for you, and what does that mean to you?
It's a very important tradition. There's been several great wrestlers from Columbus who have worn those robes, and the team has always worn those robes. And it's something I look forward to every year, getting to put one on for state. And it's just one of the best traditions in Nebraska for state wrestling, wearing those robes.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. The Columbus. I don't think a lot of people realize how tight knit the Columbus community is towards wrestling. How important has that been to you growing up?
It's been very important having all those everybody from Columbus behind me and beside me. But all of our wrestlers, we're a very tight knit group. We're always cheering each other on. We're always helping each other in the room. It's just a great team and a great community to be a part of. Everybody loves wrestling. Everybody likes to come watch us. It's just great.
All right, so let's go back to last year. We talked about like your toughest ish opponent this year. Um, Take me back to last year. Your toughest opponent last year was Miles Anderson, who leading up to, you beat in the state final. You also wrestled and beat earlier in the year. There was some maybe talking, and you're not a big talker. So, um, walk me through like preparing for that match and kind of what was, there was maybe some stuff said, that not by you. But walk me through like preparing for that, because Miles is a good wrestler. He really is.
Yeah. So before going in a match with Miles, the first match we wrestled, he tech falled me,
Mm-hmm.
which getting tech falled is one of the
Not
worst feelings.
not something you're used to.
It's a little
Yeah,
humbling.
Yeah.
it's a little humbling, but I knew I'd see him again. So I remember right after that day, I watched that video so much. I watched that video like 10 times trying to figure out what I could fix, what game plan I need going into that match. And when I wrestled Miles in the Columbus duel, I got feedback from all. I went up to every coach, asked them what they think I should do, and I took that advice and I brought it to the mat. Ended up winning that match.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was time for state finals, I knew it was going to be a good match. I was excited for it, and I knew I could win. I just stuck to the same game plan that I went with the previous match. I wrestled hard, and I won.
Tell us about that feeling when you won that state championship. I mean, walk us kind of through those emotions.
That was probably the greatest way to win your first state title. I had one of the best wrestlers in the state as my opponent to wrestle with. I was in a very close match. No one has scored a point till the third period.
Mm-hmm.
I had my coaches yelling at me the whole time, trying to get me to see opportunities. And then seeing the crowd after I won, it's nothing like it.
I went back today and I watched your one loss, which was this year, which was in Council Bluffs. He's a really good wrestler. I mean, his sudden victory, right? What'd you learn from that? What did you take away from that match?
I needed to be more prepared. I was not prepared enough for that match. I I got tired. I gassed out. I wasn't thinking. I missed scoring opportunities. I just kind of sat around in ties, letting him score. If I would if I got that match back, I wouldn't have stopped wrestling. There's several times where I stopped wrestling and he got a score, which was able to bring it into overtime. And from there, I just got out of position.
Mason, if there's one thing that I need you to do, it's to break every single one of Mr. Carmichael's records at Columbus. He's a good buddy of mine. I was at went to his wedding, know his family really well, but I need you to break every single record that he has.
I'll see what I can do.
And then let him know about it.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't think Mason Petersen is going to let anyone know, about it.
Don't worry, I'll let him know. But I just need you to break the records.
For some reason, I just feel like he's probably not going to rub it in anyone's face.
I'll do all the rubbing in the face there. Just get it done.
Mason, maybe one more before we let you out of here. You're going for back to back again this year, right? Like that's your goal. You have some big tests, before then, right? How do you prepare? How do you stay ready all the time? How are you just going to be engaged and just stay focused on that goal?
The goal is just never going to leave my mind. I'm going to keep wrestling. I'm going to keep training hard in practice. I'm lucky enough to have a bunch of good partners in the wrestling room that are going to keep me in check if I start to slow down, they're going to get me back on the right path. And I'm just going to go about it like I did last year. I know I'm going to have some tough matches. I'm just going to keep wrestling.
All right, one last one. I lied. I got one more for you. Where are you at? You want to wrestle in college, right? Where are you at with that decision and all of those things?
Uh, I've had a few coaches reach out and talk to me. I've been on a few visits. I've been to St. Cloud State. I've talked to Steve Costanzo, got to hang out with their guys. I've been to Lincoln, got to talk to all the coaches and see the room and see the engineering building. Right now, I'm just keeping my options open and focusing on wrestling and just getting better.
Yeah, make a decision after the season. Let's just stay, keep the eye on the prize, right?
Keep the focus.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, Mason, man, appreciate you. Appreciate your time. Glad talking to you. Good seeing you again. Haven't seen you since Fargo this summer. And
Shut up.
and no, I appreciate you and your ability to stay humble. It's kind of hard to do nowadays.
Yep.
All right, man.
Hey,
Thanks.
we'll see you at state, brother.
See you there.
See ya. All right. I said ability to stay humble, and that's number one with that guy.
Oh yeah. And he's got a great group of guys that he's been mentored by with Coach Keysweater, Coach Brownlow, Austin Carmichael. He's assistant principal at Columbus now. That community's it's really unique and super cool.
Yeah. He just goes to work, which is kind of fun.
And he's been a dude for as long as I can remember.
Right.
Even on the youth scene, he was he's been a hammer.
Yeah, he's been really, really good. So, all right, we were supposed to have Jordan Campbell, but I don't see her waiting. So let's just keep the show moving, and we'll bring in Cody, and then maybe we have to leave and come back if she comes back. I'll work on trying to get her. So how about that? Does that work?
Deal.
All right, Cody, we're gonna bring you in. Then we might have to.
Yeah, if you got to get rid of me, get rid of me.
We'll come back.
I got a snap about an hour ago from Corey, and they were at a wrestling tournament for her little brother, so they might be getting home or something.
Yeah, and that's fine. Stuff happens. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we tried.
I mean, if you want to talk about someone who's heavily involved in community and family, that's Jordan Campbell.
Yeah, it's a big.
She's out there all the time, girls wrestling and everything.
Big, it's a big deal. They were at a wrestling tournament yesterday when I reached out. So that works. All right, Cody. So what happened over the weekend? Lexington. You were in Lexington, right?
Yeah, it was unreal. We missed Chuck this year. Had many people ask where he was. I'm not even blowing smoke. They legitimately asked, "Where's Chuck?"
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Famous. I had club practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't have done anything.
You were at Duels yesterday? I know there's a bunch of people that were at that dual tournament in North Platte and then down in Beatrice.
I was out at Oakland Craig.
Okay. Yeah. They had a big
tournament. Look at you. Getting out of Omaha a little bit.
Yeah. I had to map quest it.
Hey,
so
Logan,
easy.
as you see, I'm wearing a View shirt because it is Coach Streeter's birthday today, so I had to give him a shout out. Did you get to talk to him at all, Chuck?
Me? No. I didn't see him out there.
All right. Otherwise, Lexington there are 75 ranked wrestlers. This is a 16-team tournament. That should put into perspective. Every team there's good. Easily, the person that won the day is Alan Diaz from Lexington. Just a freshman. Very well known coming into state, Triple Crown winner and as an 8th grader. His hit a lefty headlock that like brought the whole gym to their feet. Like everyone's stopping what they're doing to watch this kid because it was unbelievable. And he's unbelievably talented. And for some of the stuff he's doing, and you realize this kid's 14 or 15 years old, is impressive. I mean, in the semis, he took out a state finalist from McCook. Then he wins the finals. And then I'm drawing a blank on who he beat in the finals. But it was just a lot of fun to see. 165-pound bracket was crazy. Cesar Cano, another Lexington wrestler, that dude lets it fly.
Those Lexington wrestlers are just like, you're always in a fist fight when you wrestle one of those guys.
They're tough.
They are.
They're really well. Bennington won the tournament. I think we are getting to the point where, they beat Scott last week at Schuyler. They won Lexington. Like, I don't know if they get talked about as much as Scott, but Bennington's going to be a problem.
Yeah, they just don't have. Yeah, I think that maybe they just, outside of Lordson, they don't have the like big names, stuff like that.
But they have some depth. I mean,
right.
That 106-pounder Welcher, he's wrestling really well right now.
And then they're switching off at 13. They have two guys there that could honestly both be ranked. They're both really good. Then Knox Naughton's pretty good freshman at 26. Warner, I mean, he was state medalist 2 years ago as a freshman. He's up there at 32. Craig Meyer, I mean, that's someone to keep an eye on at 44. They just got a lot of podium potential guys. I mean, I could see them getting 8 or 9 on the podium.
So the depth is
yeah.
They're going to push Scott. They are. Scott's not going to run away with it this year.
No, and you get a couple upsets, and it'll be just something I'm interested in because I don't think Bennington gets talked about as much as they probably should.
And Bennington went to North Platte right before.
Yeah, they won the 4 against North Platte, and North Platte was at Lexington. They finished 5th. They had a good run. Minden looked really good.
Oh,
it's tough in Class C because Battle Creek is
unreal.
Yeah, Battle Creek's just loaded. I'm trying to think, there was Bennington and Minden. York was the other one.
Yeah,
that missing. We saw them win the York invite early in the year. They beat Waverly in a duel last week. They're going to be right there too. I mean, they're another one where they got Keegan Linden, who I don't think anyone's going to touch at heavyweight in Class B.
No.
Emmett Dirks was undefeated till he ran into Kyler Laridson. Got a little injury in that match. I think he'll be back. Hopefully he'll be back. They got a lot of talent all throughout their line. They're big. They had Brooks Loosevelt take out Merrick Johnson in the finals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's 2 over 1. So, I mean, they're going to have some dudes at state, too. They're tough. Coach Johnson's really turned that program around, and it also helps when you have Tyler Herman as the athletic director because one of the greatest coaches of all time in our state.
They've got a very good youth program, too. Very good youth program.
Yes, they do, and a lot of bodies. And, the thing with York that I like what they do with the way they set up their schedule is, I mean, they go all over the state. They were up at Manstead. They go out to Lexington. They have their own invite. Seen them come up to Ralston, see some of the Omaha teams. They get out, they travel, they go all over. So it's good to see them. Millard South got a lot of dual points this weekend. They finished 3rd at Kearney. They fell to Kearney in the semis. But I have a hard time seeing the streak end this year of making it to state duels with what they've done at the Metro dual tournament and with UNK this weekend. I know they got tomorrow night's going to be a huge night for them.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. Who's
Are you
there?
guys going?
I don't know yet.
I've practiced.
Okay, because they've added a team.
Yeah,
North.
North.
So last week, with school being called on Tuesday,
Yeah.
Columbus and Omaha North lost their duel. So Columbus is actually going to duel Omaha North, Millard South, and Creighton Prep tomorrow night.
Yes.
And then you'll have the triangular of Millard South, Creighton Prep, and
Columbus. Yeah.
Now,
so it starts at 5.
Yes.
And it's gonna go until like probably 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple matches that definitely be keeping an eye on. Obviously, 126 will be a Metro's rematch with Cameron Green and Kieran Mink.
Yeah. Which okay, I was gonna bring that up. So you have Mink still ranked 1, and you have Cameron Green ranked 3rd. Is that right?
Cameron Green is ranked 2.
2. All right.
Tyler Hanneborg is ranked 1.
Oh.
So the thought process, we'll just get this out there.
Yeah. What are you doing?
So
Sorry.
Stupid idiot.
you have Hanneborg as a returning state runner-up. He hasn't lost outside of when he lost one match up at 132 to number 1 Alex Gates. He hasn't lost since coming down to 126. It's it could go any of those 3. I mean, obviously, it was between Hanneborg and Green for number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't see. I mean, it's hard jumping him over a returning state runner-up who hasn't lost at the weight, and he goes and wrestles, wins against number 3 Carlin from Beatrice on Saturday in the finals, who's beaten a lot of these guys in Class A. Like, so I can understand an argument from each side. I just kind of went to the side of
returning finalist.
Yeah, returning finalist. And I mean, look at my track record of how I rank guys. I've always made guys earn their way up. I know there was some guys that were saying, well, you jumped Kyrie up to number 1 over some guys. Well, I mean, we had a big upset in Kearney. Tevin Delozier from Millard South beat Jack Spanenberg on Friday. You had Spanenberg and Marco have split this year. And then, it's Kyrie beats Caniglia. So they that's all worked itself out because they've all wrestled each other.
Right.
And at the end of the day, for anyone that's mad, they're just rankings.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
They're just rankings.
Frankly, it doesn't matter for like state seating either.
No.
So, really.
And that was one of the comments we had on there was, you guys are really attacking this kid. Like, because of you guys now, we're going to be even deeper seed at state. And it's like, we don't seed the state tournament. We have nothing to do with seeding.
Yeah, it's not how it works.
Yeah, if anything, this should put a chip on Cameron Green's shoulder.
Yeah. Next time Cameron Green sees you tomorrow night, he's got to have some words for you.
No, we talked through Instagram earlier, and I explained my belief.
I'm sure he doesn't really care.
No. I'm actually more so like, I knew that was going to come. There's just one phone call I haven't gotten yet that I'm expecting to come from
Rowan.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to come.
So I know that's going to come at some point.
Yeah, it'll come.
Hey, my man Landon at that weight too. He's right on the cusp of being up there with those guys.
Yeah, I mean, both those matches with Cameron have been close. It was overtime at the Tom Deneen invite, and then I think it was like 3 or 4 points at Metros in the semis.
I think it's like 7-4 or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, another one, like, here I was talking about that Beatrice kid. I mean, you had Hanneborg beat the Beatrice kid, and the Beatrice kid majored Landon. So, I mean, there is some validity behind it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so we're starting to get to the point now. There's not a whole lot of tournaments left in the year.
Yeah.
Millard South they got those 2 duels tomorrow, and then they head to Liberty, Missouri on Thursday, which we always know is a big one.
Yeah.
There's a Scud invite on Saturday. We'll see Scud. Omaha North there. Lincoln Southwest. I can't remember some of the other teams off the top of my head.
Interesting.
Yep, I'm going to drink a lot of coffee because we've started doing our district previews. And a heads up to all the coaches out there. Can you please enter your wrestlers' information on track? That'd be
put it in there.
Great.
That's where I was digging for Mason Petersen stuff today.
Yeah, when I was texting you about
how do I even find this?
Yeah.
You could just text Keyswitter and yell at him.
I thought about it, but I didn't. No, his stuff was in there. His stuff was in there. I was just like, this is.
He's usually on top of stuff.
Keyswitter. I would put
Keyswitter,
him and Bauer out at Kearney. Like they enter stuff, and I put Seuss in there. They enter that stuff the night of. I swear they don't sleep. They get home from tournaments at 10 o'clock, and then they're probably up till 2 or 3 getting everything entered into track.
Well, it's probably already in something. You just have to push a couple buttons, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a Chuck question.
Yeah, track wrestling, it can be a process in some of the stuff. Hey, how about Hudson Oliver out at Grand Island? Is there anybody looking more dominant than him right now?
And a tech fall over Thompson in the finals up in Sioux City. That was That was not on my bingo card.
That is impressive.
Mike, you saw it. He pushed Adonis.
Yeah, he did.
And then third period, I think Adonis kind of woke up to win that thing by a major. But that's the closest anyone's been with Adonis this year in state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Hudson's Grand Island, they're tough too. They're going to get Alex Gates back. He hasn't wrestled for about 3 weeks now, but he'll be back. I've talked to Coach Morrison about that, so he'll be a big addition.
Again, I'm going to go back to the Grand Island thing. I think they're actually they have some depth and stuff, and I'm just thinking of the state, individual state tournament. They can make a run at it. Maybe, get some wrestlebacks points and stuff like that.
And with how they
good draws.
Yeah.
It's trying to think. Grand Island, they might be. I think they're in the same district as Creighton Prep. I'm pulling it up right now. So them.
I believe they are. Yeah.
District, that's going to put them on an opposite side of a lot of brackets.
Yeah. So then they could make. That's what I mean. They could just make a run at some stuff there. So.
Yeah, and it'll be something to keep an eye on, because coming out of these with Class A having 8 teams a district, there's going to be Grand Island, Creighton Prep. We're going to get 12, 13, 14 guys. Kearney, they're going to get a lot. Even a team like Bryan, they could end up with 9. They have probably the best 1, 2, 3 punch in the state.
Yeah, lower weights. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But another kid that has been kind of forgotten about, Hudson Logis.
Yeah.
Coming back from his shoulder injury last year.
Yep.
He is torching people right now.
Which isn't shocking.
No.
It's not shocking.
Yeah. I saw him, where did I see it? Columbus or Council Bluffs, right?
Yeah.
He got second, right? Lost in the final.
And that was his third week back?
Yeah, he was.
And he hadn't wrestled in a year and a half.
Yeah.
He had his surgery right after state sophomore year.
He's the real deal.
Yeah. Right. I just sometimes think he gets kind of forgotten about. And it's
Well, it's just because he had so much time off, probably, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about Mason earlier, that's another one. I think people forget Mason's only a junior.
Right.
When Chuck was talking about records, there's going to be some.
There's a lot of records. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went back and watched that Columbus match, the one match he lost this year in sudden victory, and I went back and watched it today, found it, and I was like, dang, he was right in there, and he was right on. He just kind of relaxed a little bit, and he's got.
I was commentating that match.
He's already a Fargo All-American, so
another guy that had a big weekend, Jace Rosencrans from O'Neill St. Mary's took out 1, 2, and 4
Wow.
this week. So he took over the top spot at 175 in Class D. And you don't hear a whole lot about O'Neill St. Mary's. It's always O'Neill you hear about, but
Right.
it's really kind of cool because if you remember, St. Mary's has been through some stuff this year.
Yeah.
I mean, their school burnt down. So
Right. Yes. Yeah.
it's
That
definitely
makes things tough.
yeah. So I don't know fully what they're doing or if some of the schools I don't know the full backstory. I just know from the News Channel Nebraska story about the school catching on fire during the fall season.
Yeah. So C, it's very much so Battle Creek.
Battle Creek. David City's starting to make a little bit of a push. They had their home invite this weekend. Minden, like I said,
Orange.
Orange. Robert Nelson's back. He's been out until about 2 weeks ago. He's going to be, I think he's number 1 at 65.
Right. Yeah.
And he looked real good at Lexington. And then, off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember. There was one more Class C team. I'm drawing a blank right now, but you're starting to see teams start to separate. In Class D, you have Plainview is kind of starting to pull away. Plainview and Burwell.
Yeah.
They're kind of starting to pull away. Shelby Rising City needs to get healthy.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
They're really banged up.
Yeah, so let's just get through these next 2 weeks, get to districts. Thursday, girls state duels will be going on in West Point.
Oh, I was like, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, so NSWCA, there's going to be a class. I think you and Drew talked about it last week, too.
Yeah.
So that's this Thursday. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Was hoping Jordan would come in here at some point because UTN is there.
You're right. Yeah.
So I'll have to.
Sort of like flash in. Something must happen. It's okay.
Yeah. I didn't get the chance to explain how it all works.
Yeah, it's all right.
Other than that, I mean,
state duels is Thursday, so that means
for girls, yep. And then
where's that at?
West Point.
Oh.
And then next week.
Not all day or night? It's gotta be night.
All day and night, or evening and night. I would say
probably. They have school, right? Like
yeah. So it's not at the West Point High School. It's at the community center up there.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know where that is. Yeah. In Nielsen.
Yep, exactly. Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they sent out a memo today about parking and concessions.
Yeah, where are people going to park there?
So the buses, vans, and everything are supposed to park on the baseball field behind the building.
Okay, yeah.
And then that'll open up the parking lot. But the other thing is they're only going to have like 3 or 4 rows of seating on the bleachers. Yeah. So it's going to be
tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Close quarters.
Yeah.
Also, hey, one thing about West Point, and it's right down the street. There used to be, I don't know if there still is, but there used to be like a grocery store, meat market, something down like downtown in West Point there. Like go there and get take some meat home from that place. It's good. I did that before. It's pretty good.
Best breakfast I have ever had is in West Point at the sale barn.
Yeah, there you go. Just giving stuff free advertising here.
Exactly.
Yeah. There we go. All right, man. Let's go ahead.
Real quick. How about Nebraska this weekend?
Yeah, just dominating the trip to Michigan.
Way to bounce back.
Yeah. 36-3 against State, and then I think it was 34-10 against Michigan.
Yeah. And Antrell didn't even wrestle. So.
Yeah, he didn't wrestle the second one, but we did get to see Scott Robertson.
That was cool.
So that was good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then
some big wins in that Michigan duel.
Yeah. Minto,
he's not even their starter.
Comes out and takes the number 10 kid in the country with Bo Mantanona.
Yeah.
So they got a home duel Friday against Wisconsin. Friday's also gonna be. There's this little duel going on in State College, Pennsylvania. This really rowdy team to the east of us that has already started talking.
Really?
I think somebody called for somebody's head. at
Yeah,
184 pounds.
Yeah.
It wasn't very, I don't think it's a smart
Yeah.
thing to do.
A freshman calling for the head of a 3-time national champion.
Yeah.
Bold. Yeah. 4-time. My bad. Bold move, Cotton.
Yeah. No.
What is the best thing you guys saw this weekend?
Best thing I saw this weekend? Well, I wasn't able to catch any wrestling this weekend. So
You got to continue to follow Nebraska's road woes.
yes, I did.
I love being
I know the best thing you saw this weekend, Sautter. A college student gets $7,000 taken.
Yeah, $7,000 making a half-court shot. That was cool.
Yeah. Didn't they take it away though because his foot was on?
No, they ended up paying it.
Okay, that's good.
I really enjoyed going out to Oakland Craig yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's not high school related or college related, but seeing the wrestling community out in that part of the state, and it's a little bit different for me and the kids that I've coached.
He said that part. It's like an hour.
It's an hour north of Omaha.
But it's way
All right,
different
go
from
ahead.
Omaha.
Keep going.
That's what I'm
Keep going.
saying. There's not that much integration from Omaha to Oakland. I mean, it's where you're at is kind of where you're at.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to see the wrestling community out there, and it was a very well run tournament. And I'm excited to bring my kids back out there, and would encourage anyone who can to get into that tournament next year.
Hey, did you read any of the walls or anything there?
I can't read.
JT Branch, but one of the greatest Hall of Famers of all time is an Oakland Craig product. He has a lake named after him, Chuck. There's your hint.
Oh, yeah, he does. Johnson Lake.
Yeah.
Jordan Johnson from Beatrice is an Oakland Craig product.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I saw Nate Olson out there.
Nice.
Takema Herman guy.
Yeah.
Big Takema Herman guy.
Well,
yeah.
All right. So as we close out, I'm going to urge people to get to Millard South tomorrow night.
Yeah, should be good. Tuesday night, the January 28th is should be fun, right? Maybe.
Yeah. There's going to be good wrestling. I mean,
yeah, it'll be good matchups.
Millard South definitely. They're healthy now. Guys are down, and they are back up to number 3. My latest ranking came out today, so
yeah,
they're back on track.
We'll see if Mason Petersen moves to wrestle Logan Glenn. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think a lot of eyes will be on that.
I doubt that he will, but we'll see. That'd be fun.
And be a good duel.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks.
Yep. See you guys.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.